guys, today I'm back with my June wrap up and July TBR. As you can see, I am the other one paper girl this week. I'm not with Amy because we are apart for a little bit. I was just in Greece on holiday, I had such a good time, and Amy's still in Nottingham doing her internship, and I am back at home, so I'm reunited with all of my books. But that does come along with better lighting than recently, but still not great lighting because my window's all the way over there, and also some noisiness because I live on basically a main road and I have a noisy dog and a noisy family just downstairs. So sorry if there's some excess noise, but I will try to tell everyone to shut up if it is too bad. I actually really enjoyed watching Amy's video. Not that I didn't expect to, but it just really warmed my heart more than I thought it would. We're not used to doing separate videos. Even if we do reviews or videos separately, it normally comes along with when we book film together. So like we're either in the same room or just we know exactly what the other person's going to say. So it was really nice. I had no idea. I wasn't even sure of her wrap up because I didn't know quite what she'd finished by the end of the month because I was on holiday. It was really nice seeing her TBR. She was just so quirky and hilarious, and I felt like a subscriber, and I was like, I would subscribe to Amy, she's great. I told all of this and she made her really happy because she was a bit worried about being all fumbly by herself, but Amy did an amazing job. I'm now kind of under pressure to be a successful one paper girl, so I'm trying my best. So let's start off with what I read this month. The first book I finished this month I don't have with me because I lent it to Amy, and that is Air of Fire by Sarah J Maas. I'll put a picture here or here, wherever looks better. Amy also finished this book if you watched her June wrap up, and I told very mixed feelings about this book. It's kind of all the way during it I was totally bored for a good 400 pages, basically 2/3 of it I found really dull. I didn't really care about Manon's storyline. I didn't skip it, but I just did not care. At first I thought, oh, this is really cool, and then after that actually bleh. And then Selena was really moany, and I got why, but it just was a bit dull to read about her trying to use her powers and failing for 200 pages. It was a bit repetitive, so I was only really enjoying Kale and Dorian's sections, and they were definitely the shortest bit. So a lot of this book I just found really slow. I even listened to it on audiobook, but which might not have helped because I didn't really like the narrator and it was still very slow. I couldn't speed up the speed with how I was listening to it. It just took me forever to read, and I was telling all this to Amy, so she was really worried about reading it because the whole way through I was like, oh, it's so boring, I'm falling out of love with this series, really negative. But then I did really like the ending because that definitely redeemed it for me. I did only give it, I gave it 3 stars, but then it's one of those books where the longer time has passed since reading it, I kind of think it's more of a 3.5 or a 4 because the ending was great. It just really tugged at my heartstrings, and it feels like a filler book. Now I look back on it, all the character development was really needed and necessary. I would have been annoyed if it had suddenly skipped their character development anyway. But then looking back on it, it was totally necessary. Everything that happened in this book was pretty necessary. It just took a long time for it to happen. It wasn't really an exhilarating read, but I'm super pumped for Queen of Shadows because the way the book ended and the direction it's going in just seems great. Back in the setting that I like, with the characters I like, and it kind of links a lot to the prequel novellas, The Assassin's Blade, which I'm really happy with because I adore those. So I feel like I'm going to love Queen of Shadows, and Air of Fire is just going to be this unnecessary little blip. Kind of like how people feel with Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, but that's actually my favourite. But I know a lot of people find that to be an overly long filler book. So yeah, Air of Fire was okay. It was good. I don't know. Still read this series. Lots of people love this book to death. Amy definitely enjoyed it more than I did. Wait, no, she hasn't finished it yet. What am I saying? I got that completely wrong. She's currently reading it and she's enjoying it a lot more than I did. So yeah, she's only halfway through it. But yeah, no, she's enjoying it a lot more than I did, so you will see her review of it in July and see what she thought. Because Air of Fire took me so long, I only actually finished 2 other books this month, which I'm kind of sad about because I went on holiday and I finished exams and coursework, so I was like, oh, I'm going to have so much time to read, but it didn't really happen. Spending a lot of my time applying for jobs, which takes forever. Well, I'm not currently, but I was spending forever applying for things, and now I'm home and watching a lot more telly and waffling like mad. The next book I finished this month is Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGuinness. This is I realise I didn't summarise Air of Fire at all. Sorry if you don't know what Air of Fire is, but you probably do. Not a Drop to Drink is a survival story in a kind of dystopian future world. I'm not really sure what has happened, but basically there's just been a lot of like hygiene problems with the water, a lot of cholera, a lot of death. So this is about a girl called Lynn and her mother who live by a big pond, and they have to protect it from people. Like, people can live in the city and get water from the government, but you have to pay for it and things. So people do kind of venture to make it their own way in the wilderness. So they have to protect their pond from anyone who might want to steal from it, because it's not a massive pond, you know, it's like enough for them to get by, but if everyone came to it, they would all die. Lynn's mother has definitely brought her up to be kind of very hard and tough. She's good with a gun, and she just doesn't really know about emotions, and she struggles with dealing with them. So you saw Lynn's character development in this, which I really liked, and then you also meet lots of other characters later on, but I don't want to tell you about that because I think it's better to not know much about this book and go into it blind. I was really enjoying it, like the first half. I tried to do the Reader-Rama and completely failed. And this was the book I read in that week. But because of trying to do the Reader-Rama, I read a lot of it really quickly. But then it took forever for me to finish it because I just didn't really like the turn the story took, and I found things to happen very quickly. I mean, the whole ending was like 20 pages and things happened that no one really seemed to care about, that they should have cared about, and it just felt really rushed. I feel like it needed a bit longer for the ending to make sense and feel important. So I wasn't a massive fan of the ending because it took me forever to read. I think I gave this 3 stars on Goodreads as well. I just realised I've also got to do my July TBR, so I should really hurry up. So the last book I read this month was Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. I've had this book, I think it came out 2 years ago. I remember it came out in summer. I think it was 2 summers ago. I've had this book since it came out, and I don't know why I haven't got around to it. I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't like how they changed the covers, and a lot of people were saying it was good, but a lot of people were saying it was bad. And yeah, I really loved Anna and the French Kiss to death, and then I really was meh about Lola and the Boy Next Door. So this one I kind of didn't know how to feel, because I had a love-hate relationship with Stephanie Perkins so far. But I just finished it and I loved this book. It was so good. I think I give it 4 stars because I wanted to give it 5, but it's not as good as Anna and the French Kiss, which is a 5 stars. So I'm going to give this book 4. I'm tempted to film a review on it, so I don't want to say too much now about what I liked and disliked about it, because I think I will do a review and then that will explain my thoughts a bit more. But yeah, this book was great. It was just adorable. A lot of people call Isla quite immature, and that's a big problem, is they didn't like the romance or found her quite unbelievable. But maybe I'm just immature. At least I was in the early stages of my relationship, so I could definitely see where she was coming from. She reacted exactly how I would have reacted to a lot of situations, and it was just so cute. I really like Josh, and I really like Kurt, and the last like 30 pages was so cute. And I thought I was going off YA, but I just think I needed to read some better YA. I haven't read a romance in a really long time because I just think like, oh, it's so predictable. But things happened in this that I really wasn't expecting, and it was just so cute. I loved it. I really, really loved it. I should pass this over to Amy to read, because I think also I read it while I was celebrating my 5-year anniversary in Greece with my boyfriend, so I was in quite like a lovey-dovey, gushy mood anyway for like books with travel and love and adventure. But yeah, I thought this was great and I definitely recommend it. Right, I feel like I've been talking forever. I don't know how long I've been talking. I'm just going to keep going and probably cut out lots of rambling. I am rambly without Amy. She also keeps me in check. She said that she felt rambly and that I keep her in check, but I just think we need each other to vlog properly. But this month is the booktubeathon. The challenges should be going up any minute now when I'm filming this, because Ariel kind of did a little teaser that she was planning the challenges, and she did say they were coming up today, but she's in Canada, so she's behind in time, I think, so I don't know when it's going to go up. When this video goes up, the challenges will probably be up, which is weird. So my TBR might completely change. The first thing I definitely want to read this month, I'm going to save it for the booktubeathon though in case it links to a challenge, is Rat Queens Volume 3, because holy crap, I've had this for 2 months now I think and still haven't read it. I don't need to explain this. I love Rat Queens. It's going to be a good old time. And then because I'm in the mood for some more adult books, I took Life of Pi on holiday with me, but I only read Isla and the Happily Ever After. Didn't finish any of the books, even though I took 3 with me. But I have the audiobook for this, and I'm in kind of a summery, I mean it's horrible outside, but I'm in a summery beachy mood after my holiday, and I want some good writing and some metaphors, and yeah. It's also a 2016 reading goal of mine to read this, because it's Amy's favourite book. So So, and it's summer, it's just everything is telling me to read it. I'm not massively in the mood for it, but I think once I start it, I'll just, you know, go with the flow and love it. So yeah, I really want to read this month because it just needs to happen. The next few books I'll show you are the adult books that I'm hoping to read this month because I'm in the mood for some adult books. I just need a little YA break. The next one is The Enchanted by Renee Denfield. No, Denfeld, not Denfield. This just looks super quick. I've heard good things from Reagan at Peruse Project and other booktubers say that this is like a super short book. It's about people on death row in a prison, and it just seems like it's going to be very emotional, a lot of like metaphorical substance. I read the first like sentence and the writing already seems really beautiful, and yeah, it's like just over 200 pages, so hopefully I can fly through this and just really enjoy it. Following in that vein, I have Player One, not Ready Player One, by Douglas Coupland. I wanted to read this on holiday, but it's about a natural disaster. It's set in an airport. So I thought, I've never flown before, I don't really want to read about plane crashes or anything. But this is a real-time 5-hour story following 5 desperate people who are trapped inside. But yeah, it just seems like, again, super emotional, kind of quick, good writing, just a bit of a hard-hitting. I've had this for ages, I don't even know how I heard about it, but every time I see it on my bookshelf I think I should read that because it'll be quick and great. So hopefully it is. I don't know if you can see them on my lap, but I have the last few books. These are all YA. I'm not going to read all these books by any measure, but I just thought I'd show them all off to you because we're probably not going to be able to film a booktubeathon TBR, so just figure out for yourself which one of these are going to fit the challenges or whatever. The first book is Winger by Andrew Smith because it was in my 5 books I want to get done this summer list. I've already read Isla, want to read Life of Pi, so I'm making my way through that list pretty well. This looks really massive, but it's got really big font. Amy's just read Standoff, she mentioned it in her June wrap up and she loved it, so it's made me really want to pick up Winger, really just discover Andrew Smith and see what he's all about. This might be a booktubeathon book maybe, because Amy said it's a really quick read and I've had it for a really long time, so I just really want to read it. I recently bought One by Sarah Crossan. You should see this coming up in a June book haul I've got coming up some point. But yeah, this again, it looks kind of chunky, but it should be really quick. That's kind of what I'm going for this month. Is it looks like I'm going to read loads, but hopefully it won't take me too long. Yeah, this is about conjoined twins. It's written in verse. That's all I really know. It's all I really want to know. I've just heard it's really beautiful. Never read a book in verse before. Again, it might fit a booktubeathon challenge because they tend to have quirky challenges like that. So that'd be cool. It just seems really quick and cute and beautiful. The next book, it might not happen because it's massive, but I have the audiobook and stuff. Skyward Prince by Cassandra Clare. You guys know I've been trying to catch up with Cassandra Clare's books since the start of this channel because I'm just awfully behind. But I'm reading them in publication order, so I have to read this. Then I can read City of Lost Souls and Clockwork Princess and City of Heavenly Fire, blah blah blah. So if I want to catch up, I need to do it. So I need to read this book next. I'm in the mood for it as well because I actually did enjoy the first one quite a lot. I've heard good things about this one. Again, it looks huge. It's the size of my head. But the font's pretty big. I've got the audiobook to go with it. I read a Cassandra Clare in the booktubeathon last year and read it in a day. So maybe I could tackle this. I'm so tired. Okay, the last book in my humongous July TBR that won't happen, but I'm going to say it anyway because why not, is All I Know Now by Carrie Hope Fletcher. Amy mentioned this in her July TBR because she recently bought the really pretty purple cover, which suits her because her favourite colour is purple. Mine's not yellow, but whatever. Yeah, I want to read this because we're going to go meet her. In case you didn't see our summer update video, we talked about plans for summer, how Amy's working, separate videos, and how we're meeting Carrie in early September. So I really want to read this. Again, a booktubeathon challenge might be to buddy read, and if it is, me and Amy are hopefully going to buddy read this month, which would be really cute. We've never done a buddy read before because they seem kind of hard. Like, how do you read a book with a person? I don't know. But the camera just died, which means I've been talking for 20 minutes, which means this wrap up and TBR, even though it's just me, is going to be like 15 minutes because I haven't shut up. There's nothing really to cut. I'm sorry. Yes, so I want to read this book with her. Maybe, probably not. I think it cut out the thing. I do want to read it with her, but probably not because my TBR is ridiculous. I always do this. I'm over ambitious, guys, okay? I'm just heading for the stars. Okay, that is it for my June wrap up and July TBR. I read 3 books in June. I want to read like 10 in July. don't know if it's going to happen. Give me some encouragement down below because I need to keep motivated this month. I have this humongous TBR shame behind me that just is kind of stressing me out, to be honest. Since coming home, it's kind of stressing me out because there's so many books and I want to read them all so much and I just have too much choice and it's scary. So give me some encouragement down below. If you see me on Goodreads not, you know, reading a few pages at a time, be like, come on Laura, and that'll help. Let me know down below what you want to read this month, if you're going to take part in Booktubeathon with either just watching it, doing videos, writing blogs. Let me know because Booktubeathon is just the best time of year. Me and Amy are so pumped because we're going to be reunited and we both had loads of free time. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. That is it for my really rambly video. I'm gonna hate editing this and just wish I'd shut up. So sorry about that. I might do another video by myself if we need more videos. If not, we'll see you properly back together for the Booktubeathon. Bye guys.